Hey family! So, if you didn't see on CNN and you didn't see on Twitter, I guess you're finding out right now. Andrew Yang endorsed Joe Biden. I don't even have words! Honestly, I was thrown off, confused, flabbergasted. And my confusion really came from I didn't expect Andrew to endorse anyone. I genuinely did not expect him to endorse anyone. I thought that he was gonna take a step back. And I was watching CNN, obviously, to keep up with the presidential primaries, see who's gonna be our nominee, go up against Donald Trump. And quite frankly, I was shocked when I first heard this. And once I got over the initial shell shock and I obviously kept watching and I heard everything that he had to say, I understood where he was coming from. I do understand that it does look like Joe Biden is going to be the nominee, and it's expected because he is such a weak candidate. We do need to consolidate, especially really early on, just so that we can help to prop him up, essentially. We'd have to prop up Joe Biden. So I understood that. But last night, I was still in massive shock and slept on it. So this morning, I woke up and I saw the coverage from last night and this morning, The Hill and TYT, and I saw that they also had the confusion. But what I really appreciated was that in all of their coverage, they still remembered Andrew Yang's morality, what he is fighting for. And that's one thing that I can say that us as the Yang Gang, a couple of people forgot, is that Andrew Yang's morals, his values, what he's fighting for, and that if he's doing something like this, endorsing Joe Biden, it may be confusing, but there's probably a reason. And it wasn't actually until I watched TYT and I heard Cenk Uygur that he said something to me that really resonated as a minority in this country. And it's the fact that Andrew Yang is still an Asian American, which is a minority in America, regardless of how you feel. Asian Americans are a minority. And at the end of the day, he is in this media establishment bubble with people around him that are majority white. And sadly, sometimes it feels like you have to assimilate to be a part of the group. And I think that Andrew, because of his morals and his values, he holds off as much as he can, but he also is aware about the fight that he is fighting. It's bigger than himself. And I think that that is what ultimately made him make that decision. Because if you were on Twitter, Zach Grauman, who was his campaign manager, he tweeted about how he was actually the one that was texting Andrew about potentially endorsing Joe. And Andrew made the decision live on air to actually make that endorsement. And I feel like when I heard that, it just further validated to me exactly who I felt Andrew Yang was. And it further validates to me that even though I may not agree with Andrew Yang about his endorsement of Joe Biden, just because it did throw me off for a loop, I understand it. Because at the end of the day, what Andrew is doing and what he is fighting for, it's bigger than himself. And the moves that he has to make, sadly, are different than the moves that we can make. And that's why I feel like us as the Yang Gang, we need to remember that we are not fighting for a candidate. We are fighting for a set of ideas. So people who feel that Andrew Yang endorsing Joe Biden means that all of a sudden the humanity forward movement and this idea of humanity first no longer exists, it baffles me. And the people who continuously try to call Andrew Yang a sellout, it also baffles me, but that I can almost understand, because unless you are a minority in this country, it can be very hard for you to understand that there are some times that you stand by your morals, but you gotta give a little to get a little. And that sounds effed up, but that is the world that we live in. It's the same thing as how Joe Biden is a trash candidate, but he is currently the presumptive Democratic nominee, and it is because of the way that our system is set up and the way that our country is set up. And we can change things, and that's what we're trying to do. But when you are trying to change things, you have to change things sometimes from the inside, and that is what we need to remember. So I'm not sitting here praising like Andrew Yang, like, yes, Joe Biden is the best, and quite frankly, neither was he. And that's what annoys me more than anything, is because if you literally listened to what he said when he made the endorsement, and not just that, if you actually listen to everything that he said in the sandwich of that entire panel before and after his endorsement, he did not stop. He was not unrelenting of letting Joe know that he may be the winner and the front runner, but it is not going to get him to win the general, and that he needs to start pivoting for the general. So my ultimate opinion is that we need to stop being so like hung up on a person, because at the end of the day, Andrew Yang is just a person, and he is doing the best that he can from his perspective to push this movement forward. And that is why he's on CNN, okay? That is why he is trying to be nice with the establishment, because he wants UBI to actually pass. He doesn't want to have to fight the establishment to get UBI passed like Medicare for all, you know? So the fight will still be there, but it's easier to fight from the inside than from the outside. And that's the whole purpose. And we need to remember that. And sadly, Andrew Yang does not have the privilege to just say F it to everyone. And we need to remember, like, I love Andrew Yang. I love what he stands for. I love what he fought for, and I still believe he's fighting for it. But I'm not in this fight for Andrew Yang. I am in this fight to abolish poverty. I am in this fight to restore democracy. That is why I'm in this fight. So I challenge you to look to see, why are you in this fight? Why are you actually a part of this? Because if you are not in this fight for something much bigger than a person, you're not going to survive. This movement is not just about Andrew Yang. It is about his ideas. And his ideas are bigger than him. And that's just the reality of the situation. So let me know down in the comments below, how did you feel about Andrew Yang's endorsement? How do you feel moving forward? And what plans do you have to help move humanity forward? Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I appreciate you. If you liked it, please make sure you give it a thumbs up. And if you want to see the next time I post a video, make sure you hit the subscribe button as well as the notification bell so you'll be notified the next time I post a video. Thanks so much for watching. I appreciate you. Have a great rest of your day. Peace.